you have to tell of these moments. You don't wait till I mention them to tell of them. And then when I got to the Bronx, it was kind of chill. People were like, oh no, it's the other way around. You know, the other side. Oh yeah, thank you. Da da da. Hey, da da da. It was calm. And I went to UPS, got the thing. You know, walked in there. I was like, oh, I don't need a mask. Da da da. No, no, you're good. Oh wow, thank you. And it was like the energy was different. Then on the way back, it was a switch. Like they got flipped. And you have to think about the energy around these moments. And then when I came back home, I was kind of relaxed. So let me call this. Let me get these things on. Let me get everything fixed. I better get my phone, get my emails. Bad energy. Bad energy. Hitting, 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 hitting. It was because outside and my cell phone. Outside and my cell and I'm just like, and I'm trying to get it fixed, and they're asking me the same question over and over again. And I'm like, I'm worried that there's still that energy lurking. And it's always mixing stuff up now. Like when I look at certain things, like I'll get like I feel like it's a thumbs up, but then something else is giving a thumbs down. Or it's like the whole like the eyebrow, like you're talking so much about things that you're drawing attention to where other people recognize and you don't. So while somebody still thinks they have the big britches, be careful. There's other britches out there. It's not like keeping a secret. It's just helping the right way. Like when I left, I was like, ooh, good energy. Ooh, good energy. They're like, oh, why haven't you went out and done this and why? Because in the same breath, you're still calling things out. You're still putting energies around me that are going to end up having me do the same thing. And I'm tired. It's like somebody needs to kind of rest at some point. I should have kind of came here and been able to be incognito. But instead, you want to talk about letting somebody make money or racist white folks and just keeping up confusion. And if you notice, everything kind of goes swimmingly when I have the reins. But then as soon as somebody tries to snatch, and it's about this whole back and forth or make a comment about, oh, like this whole nephew and niece thing, and I was like, that's okay, that's funny, but then it starts to get all dictatorship and oh, I'm this and I'm and you know, and just all this bad energy. And like I said, I really wished somebody was closer to kind of take observance. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of stuff that's still unexplained, and I feel like if it's fully explained, the sky's the limit. But with it not being fully explained, other things can creep in. And like somebody was trying to push that all this stuff yesterday, I was like, well, does some of it have truth behind it? Because some things I felt, some things I still not yet get. And if I actually had somebody that sat down and talked and gave me the other side, sky's the limit. But I have to keep trying to piece. But then as I'm piecing, somebody else is doing what? Trying to cover or get what they need to get because they feel like this and that. And it just messes up the whole thing. Like somebody would theorize all these different theories that I'm not even thinking about right now. Or bring up bad memories that aren't explained. Like what was that when I came down to 59th Street and they were saying you lost your friend? Figure that out. Figure what happened. Figure what was that image. What did I feel? What did I sense? Like, because it's like my heart longs for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like it was a piece and part of me when nobody else was around, and all of a sudden it feels like it's almost gone. And like somebody's trying to replace it or trying to make it fuzzy or the memory's gone. And I'm like, you'd have to be there. Some of these people, like even a construction worker outside, they're using his voice like crazy, or using someone's voice that's similar, or using this, that, and third, or somebody else, or even the neighbors, or even other people. They use the voice and they're trying to like not saying aliens, people, and mix stuff up. Not that it was already kind of bad, but mix it up worse. You see what I'm saying? And that's not good. It should be a clear line of distinction. It should have been actually everybody working together instead of against. And that's kind of what bugs me. I'm like, I don't do competition, meaning like I don't like it. And that's just point blank period, like for everybody. I don't, and that's why somebody was really trying to help, because they're like, you got the right ideals. But now it's like somebody, instead of working with and then taking the reins, you're doing it the wrong way. And I'm like, the horses will eventually leave. Your horsepower will eventually leave, and then we'll both be sitting here with the wagon that won't move. Never forget that. Everybody has their season. I understand I have my season. That's why I was like, I would have loved to been able to get from and let somebody else take the reins. If you feel what I'm saying. Not saying I'm infamous, saying I'm claiming I'm this and this and that. I'm not saying that, because there's different people giving different leads in every direction, if you feel what I'm saying. Not saying, oh, da-da-da-da. I'm saying somebody knows about different areas of different facets of life. If you get what I'm saying. So, in trying to snatch reins or pull energy or do this or do that, 9 times out of 10, you might fall short. Just because you might got some ideas, but you don't get the full grasp of it, or the full scope of it. And if we never get the full scope, we never really can go to the place that we need to go to. And it's sad, because it's like, you think that I want to sit up here and be some like dictatorish type, you know what I mean? Like, you try to make me out like, oh, I want to be this guy that's just bossing and leading and da-da-da-da. It's like, no, I'd rather be the guy that knows everybody's okay. You know what I mean? And you call on if you need somebody to come in and do this, or if you need people to supplement. That's my standpoint. Like, be upstate. You know what I mean? And then, oh, yeah, we were thinking, look at it, what, like I said before, look at what happened, da-da-da-da, and come down and be like, wow, that's what y'all did. You know what I mean? Well, that's what's up. Like, wow. Who did this? Whose idea was that? Like the guy that said the fountain in at 116th in St. Nick. Did it ever happen? I think I went by there recently and it wasn't there. So I'm just like, if you're gonna take the reins, take the reins. But do it as a transition. You know what I mean? If you talk about taking ideas and doing this and doing that and listening and getting a good, or somebody talk about, oh, like you're my past and because clearly the ideas are good. Clearly the mindset is there. Don't mess up the mindset. Don't try to down talk somebody to replace them. How does it make you look? Stronger men come from men that don't try to put down another man. I don't know, just feel like somebody needs to hear that, and I hope they do. It's just tiring because I'm sitting here like all this stuff that I've been through. You would think that somebody would at least been like, yo, bro, I acknowledge what was going on. It's messed up. Here's good looks. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, appreciate that. You're a standing up guy or people, and then move on to the next portion of my life versus, oh, well, you know, the stuff that people might have made me appear. You don't know their motives. What was the motivation behind all this? And if you do, why don't you share some with me? Because there's a ton of different reasonings. It's not just one to me. And you mix it up with all this extra talk. You mix it up talking about this and bringing up the stuff that was fake and trying to cover it. It's not covered. It's confusing it. It's not covered. There's people that know, so you don't really need to cover it up. It was kind of done in broad day, if you feel what I'm saying. New York would survive. It's just the fact that I just wish that, I feel like somebody is not preaching this enough to somebody that has the power to do something. Instead, they're like at the place I felt like somebody was always pushing, oh, he's trying to do that. You know, he's a leader and he's the this and he's the that. And I'm like, why are y'all pushing that? You trying to make somebody not like me? Or think this or come at me and da-da-da-da? Like, why are y'all? And why are y'all making all this nasty stuff up? And brainwashing and, oh, we're trying to cover it. Why would you cover up anything? What are you covering up? Ask the questions of what are you doing? Ask who, what, when.